Hey guys, I'm back. If you watched my last video, I told you I'm going to do this video. My dog is going to bark during this video because he's an asshole. Yep, he's going to do that. So, give me 1 second here. And I'm back. He's now not barking for the moment. You want to know how I stopped him from barking? I yelled, "Shut up," really loud. That might make me a bad pet owner, but hey, shut him up. So, this video is going to be about how to smooth the action of an AK and a Glock, and kind of an overview that you can do it to other weapons as well, other firearms, pretty much anything that has moving parts. You can do this to smooth it out, make it more efficient, and just make it more pleasurable to shoot. So basically on the Glock, if you look up, there's a lot of videos on the 25-cent trigger job. It's pretty simple. This gun is clear. Oops, I fucked this up big time. God, it's been a long time since I've taken down my Glock. I still fucked it up. This is not a video for how to take down a Glock, obviously. There we go. Okay, so, and you can't see it on here, but I've already done it. There's places what you can do is polish them to remove any kind of burrs or any kind of resistance on them that will help the actions move better. On the Glock, there's a bunch of different parts that you can do it to, and mine is dirty because I haven't cleaned it in such a long time that, yeah, you can't see that I did it already once. I did it on my Glock 27, and it helped the trigger out tremendously. I'll probably go back and do it onto this one, too. This is my 26. I did trade off my Glock 27. The 40 caliber was just too snappy for me to feel comfortable with as a carry pistol. Besides the point. So what you can do is get what is called flits. I'll try and interject an image in here of what flits looks like. And it is just like a metal polish. So what you can do is you can get flits on a Q-tip, and right here, you polish that off. You polish that piece right there. And that's pretty much all you do for the inside of the slide. On the actual Glock itself, the frame, there's pieces in here that you can do. I don't want to take my whole trigger assembly apart right now, but you do the connector right here. Whoop, there goes my phone. You do the pieces of the connector that, touch onto here. So where you polish that off, where this is going to connect to it or going to contact it, you want to get that polished and nice and smooth because it'll help. Also, with where this touches, right on the top of that, the little cross that you see in there, you want to polish that thing up. I pretty much just say polish that whole piece once you get it taken out, because it is a moving part and it will contact a lot of different areas of the trigger mechanism. Once you do that, your trigger's going to be, you might not notice it right off the bat. I noticed it with my 27, that it was a lot smoother and it was more crisp. So that's what you can do to the Glock to polish off the trigger, make the trigger more pleasurable to shoot and smoother when you pull it back. So I'm going to put the Glock away and move on to the AK. Okay, the AK is a different kind of beast here. With this, and I've already done it to this one, so it might seem, it might not show, but when you pull back slowly, you get a lot of bumps. You can kind of see and how it sticks. It used to stick there all the way without, see, you don't want that. That's not what it's supposed to do. So I wanted to smooth all of that out. So what you do is, this is the Yugo Mac 90, Jesus. This is the Yugoslavian M70 AB2, and dust cover. Pull that off. You don't do anything with the dust cover on this rifle. This is safety check. There is nothing in it, so it's good to go. If you're not familiar with the Yugoslavian M70, you've got a little release button here that you have to push to get the dust cover off and your recoil spring out. Then you pull your whole assembly out, your firing pin your bolt and your piston assembly. What I did was on here, I took some fine grit sandpaper. I didn't use the flits because I couldn't really get in there with flits, and I wanted to use fine grit sandpaper because you could just fold it in half. So these are the slide parts that are going to slide right through here. And so if you polish those up or if you sand them down, it's going to help it slide on the rails a lot more. You're not looking to remove a whole lot of material. You're just looking to file down any burrs or any kind of imperfections in the machine work on these things. The other thing I did was I sanded it down right here, because that is the part of the carrier assembly that basically pushes the hammer back, and this whole undercarriage is going to contact other pieces of metal. Excuse me. I had taquitos for lunch, and it's not sitting the greatest. So, anyways, so you polish up pretty much all the contact points throughout the mechanism of the trigger assembly and all that fun junk. And I also did in there because that's also where it slides in the receiver. And that's pretty much all I did to the piston, the gas piston, and the bolt. Now, on the rifle itself, there's numerous parts to go after. First thing I did was right in here, because that's where that bolt will slide along. Just use some sandpaper, go in there, and polish it up. Yeah, it's going to remove some of the finish, but to me, that's alright. This is going to be my beat-up gun, the gun that I use more. Like my Mac 90, I'm not touching that one just because it's in such good condition. It's got such a low round count through it, and I like it too much to fuck with. And its action is fucking butter-like. I don't know. If you have a chance to get a Chinese Norinco Mac 90, get it. You will not be disappointed. It's a fantastic, fantastic AK. I don't have to do anything to it because the action on my Mac 90 is ridiculously pretty. So, with that being said, like I was just saying, yeah, we do it right in here. You can polish off some of the stuff way up in here, but I didn't, even though I can feel it's really sharp. So I might go back and do that, honestly. I never felt it with my finger before, and it's pretty sharp. So that'll probably get polished. On the inside of the other side, do the same thing. There's a rail right there that you can polish off or sand down. You can also do the top here because it does slide along the top of this. I was feeling mine. I did a little bit, but there's no real big bumps until it hits the hammer. Now, some people take a grinding wheel to their hammer. I'm not going to do that because, honestly, I don't have a grinding wheel. And I've never taken out a trigger assembly from an AK yet. So I didn't want to go through and tear it apart and not be confident that I could put it back together. I did that with one of my dad's shotguns, and it's still in pieces waiting for me to get my shit together and take it to a gunsmith to put it back together for me. If any of you guys know anything about Sears Roebucks 20 gauge pump action from the 70s or maybe late 60s, let me know. I need help with that thing. Besides the point. So what I did was I took my sandpaper and I sanded down the front of the hammer, because that is a good part that's the part that slides along the bottom of your bolt carrier system. It slides right over top of it. So if you basically just smooth down all of the pieces that are going to be causing friction with each other, you can drastically improve the action of your AKs or your Glocks or any pistol or any rifle for that matter. You do want to be careful. Here's my disclaimer. To not take too much off, because you can completely fuck up a gun if you take way too much off the hammer or off the sear or something like that. So I don't even want to really fuck with those. That's why I didn't take a grinding stone to it, because I don't know how much to take off. I don't know how much I can actually do without effing it up. You can see it's pretty shiny. But yeah, you just want to take caution, because this is kind of doing a little bit of gunsmith work, and I'm not a gunsmith, and I don't want to have a gun that magically becomes fully auto because I was grinding something down too much or nicked a part of something that I wasn't supposed to nick, and yeah, I don't want to be an idiot, which that's tough to do. So anyways, those are the pieces and parts that I sanded down on my AK to make the action work smoother, more smoothly. So now I'm going to put her back together. And I regret I didn't do a before video of what it was like. But it was rough, to say the least. If you guys ever do encounter a Yugo M70, when you put the piece back on, I'm so bad with my freaking part names right now. When you put the recoil spring back in, it's got that button you have to hit for it to recess fully. Before you do that, put your dust cover on and get it in place. Then when you hit the button, that'll pop out. Makes it really easy to get your dust cover on. I struggled with that for the longest time, and I was like, oh, hey, this is easy. But anyways, so this is what the action is like now. I mean, it's really, really smooth compared to when I go slowly. You can get a feel for what it was like. And it's still, like I said, it still hangs up right there. But when you do it fast, it doesn't hang up at all. So it makes your AKs a lot more fun to shoot. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm hoping it makes this AK a lot more fun to shoot. I haven't taken it out to shoot yet because I don't have a place to go shooting. I have a crap ton of ammo, but I don't have a place to shoot. So yeah, that's what you can do to make your AK perform better. I just see a lot of people cutting out their... This is kind of off topic, and this is a long video, so I'll just cut through it quickly. People have a notch cut out in their safety switch to hold the bolt back. What I did was, and I've got a video showing how I did this, I was taking the magazines to make them bolt hold open. What you want to do is you want to buy the ones that have that little open circle there. And what you do is, if you can see right in there, there's that little nub right there that my finger's touching. Take a Dremel tool, grind that fucking thing off, and then what'll happen is, I don't know if you can see how much higher up that piece is sitting right now. I'll put a side by side. So you can see how high it sits, and watch what that does in the AK. This is the non-ground down one. Oop, I'll put my safety off. These are both empty, you just saw them. Well, didn't do anything. When I take the one that I ground the nubs off of, oh, and that's not just hung up like it did when I was showing you earlier. That's because it puts that follower higher up into the mag well, so that the bolt will catch on it. So when you take the magazine out, slides down. Now, I will say, and I can tell, is that you can see there's kind of a shiny part on there. So I don't think that this is a good fix forever, because I don't think that these are meant to do that. I feel like after a long time, after that bolt slams on it, 100, 200 times, it might dent the follower a little bit, and that might need to be replaced. So if you're going to do this mod, just be aware that I think that might be an issue in the future. I know some places, I guess I don't know, I'm hoping some places will make a follower that's reinforced back there. a little bit so that we can use these as bolt hold opens indefinitely. So that mod works really good for me, and I suggest everybody does it because it's always nice at the range to have your bolt held open. Even though they like it when there's no magazine in it, if the bolt's open and the magazine's empty, they can see. Otherwise, you have to pretty much either get one of those cutout safety follower or safety selectors, or just flip that switch. Anyways, this video has been 15 minutes. Holy shit. I am done. I'm not going to stretch it out any longer, but I do appreciate you guys watching, and check out my other videos. I've got more on the way, I hope. So, thanks.